Sandy, Barbie, you know who I am. I'm over at the Work Center, Deborah. Let's go with Anna, Dr. Anna.
Ana Jimenez, part of the Youth Council and also Executive Director for the Orange County Children's Therapeutic Arts Center.
Let's go with Sandy.
Hi, I'm Sandy Anino. I'm the Business Community Liaison with the Long Beach Job Corps.
Jorge.
Sandy.
Hi, my name is Jorge Martinez. I'm with the Orange County Conservation Corps and a Youth Council partner member.
Hello, Jorge.
Hi.
Elizabeth.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth. I'm the case manager with the Youth Employment Program at OCTAC.
Oh, hi, Elizabeth.
Seth.
Hello, my name is Seth Morales Aragon. I'm the career counselor with the Youth Employment Program at OCTAC.
Hi.
Dennis.
Oh, hi. I'm Dennis Varnum. I'm with the EDD, and I'm the vice chair for our council.
Hi, Dennis.
Anthony.
Hi, my name is Anthony, and I'm one of the council members.
Hello.
Javier.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Javier Cabrera with Project Kinship. I'm the program coordinator for the TASE services.
Hi, Javier.
Hi.
Carlos.
Hi, everybody. I'm Carlos Del Riva. I'm with the City of Santa Ana. I manage programs at the Work Center.
Ooh, he got a fancy one too in the background.
I know, so pretty.
Albert.
Hello, my name is Alberto Cruz, and I am part of EDD in their Youth Employment Opportunity Program. I'm a specialist.
Hello.
I think I got everybody right. Oh, Nadia.
Hold on, she's still joining in.
Connecting.
We'll let Nadia jump in. Nadia, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Okay. I'm Nadia Ruiz. I'm a case manager for Project Kinship.
Hi, Nadia.
All right. I'll turn it back over to you, Bob. I don't know if we're ready, Bianca.
Yes, we are. We can go ahead and get started.
Okay, I've called the meeting to order, and we have a quorum. And since we don't have a flag available, I guess we can, do you want to do the Pledge of Allegiance or just move on from that?
They have a flag behind Maria Hudson.
Oh,
I see it.
Everybody, look at her.
Everybody point to Maria.
All right. Here we go. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America.
to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. Okay, we'll move on to public comments. At this time, the members of the public may address the Youth Council Committee regarding any non-agenda item. And is there anybody from the public that would like to address the council at this time? Okay, not hearing any. We'll move on to our presentation. We have Foster Youth to Independence Initiative, FYI, presented by Maria Hodson, Senior Housing Specialist with the City of Santa Ana Housing Authority. Maria, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to present about our Foster Youth Initiative here in the City of Santa Ana Housing Authority. It's exciting. I'm excited to be a part of this initiative and also to assist our youth in our community with permanent housing opportunities. So I do have a brief presentation. I like to go over the presentation or the slides, and at the end we can ask questions if there's any questions that need to be addressed or clarified with regard to what we do here in the City of Santa Ana for foster youth. So this is the presenting slide, Foster Youth to Independence Initiative, presented to the Youth Commission of the City of Santa Ana by myself, Maria Hudson, with the City of Santa Ana Housing Authority today on February 11th, 2021. Next slide. So here's a little bit of a background of the foster youth voucher program that we have here in the City of Santa Ana. So foster youth is what we term in our industry a special purpose voucher. So what a special purpose voucher is, that HUD it's a competitive process where housing authorities apply for funding to assist a specific category of individuals in our population. So these vouchers are specifically for youth aging out of the foster care system and in transitioning from transitional housing to permanent ongoing housing opportunities for them. So in 2018, the Santa Ana Housing Authority applied for family unification vouchers, which again falls under the category of special purpose because it's for a specific category of individuals in our community. And our application for that competitive process was not successful. And because of that unsuccessful application led us to be eligible to apply for FYIs, which is a foster youth initiative vouchers for foster youth in our community. So Judson Brown, our housing manager, applied for those vouchers in July of 2019. In collaboration with the Orange County Social Services Agency. So when we completed this competitive application, we needed to already come in with a partner agency. In our case was the Orange County Social Service Agency. And we also needed to have identified in partnership with the Social Service Agency, 25 youth that would receive our vouchers if we were successful in receiving the funding for this application. And then in July, that process began. And in August of 2019, we applied for those foster youth voucher opportunity. And then in October of 2019, we were notified of our success in applying for those vouchers. And we were one of 2 communities in California that received this voucher opportunity. So this was great news for us here in the city of Santa Ana. And that's because here in the Orange County, we have 4 different housing authorities. We have Santa Ana Housing, which is who I represent. There's the City of Anaheim has their own, City of Garden Grove, and then there's also Orange County Housing. And that agency manages over 50 cities in our county. So Santa Ana Housing Authority was selected out of those 4 agencies. So that was a huge accomplishment for us, and one of 2 in California. So we were very privileged to receive those awarded funds. And in November of 2019, we hit the ground running. We scheduled a group meeting with the Social Service Agency, their partner agencies or their partner social workers, and United Way. I'll talk a little bit about what United Way. United Way is also a partner agency with us, and they assist us in placing our voucher holders in an apartment or in a unit where they will receive their housing assistance. So in November of 2019, all of us gathered together along with the youth that were identified to receive these vouchers, and we just did a mass filling out of applications. We did 25 interviews on that day, so we can go ahead and get going with the issuance of the vouchers. Though the way that the Housing Authority conducts, we conduct our business is we have to interview the family first or individual. There's a background check that needs to take place, and then if they pass the background check and we receive all the verifications needed for the application, the end result is that they get their vouchers issued. So in November, we interviewed all of our youth, and in December, we started issuing vouchers for our foster youth to start searching for available housing opportunities in our community. Next slide. So this is where we currently are with our vouchers. So out of the 25 vouchers that we issued, and we began, like I said, in November of 2019, we started issuing our first vouchers in December of 2019. And by January of 2020, we had already issued all of our 25 vouchers. And Welcome Home OC is a really good partner agency for us. They are managed through United Way of Orange County. So what they do, what Welcome Home OC program does is they assist our voucher holders with the move-in costs for the apartment. So that means that our voucher holders don't have to come up with a security deposit, application fee, or credit check, or even some furnishings when they move into their unit. So the Welcome Home OC program, whom we partnered with, not only located a unit for our youth, they gently furnished the apartment. They assisted them with the security deposit, application fee, and credit check. And with that assistance, we were able to house 22 youth. By April of 2020, 22 of our youth were already housed utilizing that Welcome Home OC owner incentive program, and 3 individuals decided to go out on their own. So 3 individuals of the 25 youth decided to do all that housing search on their own. So they didn't participate in the Welcome Home OC owner incentives. But by April of 2020, all 25 of our youth were housed in a permanent housing opportunity. Here you see a little bit of our statistics. Our shortest placement was placed in 27 days. So what that means is they received their voucher on day 1, and by day 27, they were already living in their unit. Our longest placement was 90 days. That means they were issued their voucher, and within 90 days, they were housed. And our average placement was about 32 days. So this is a real game changer in terms of moving our vouchers into permanent housing. Having that supportive United Way, which provides that owner incentive to owners to participate in a program, leads to our success rate. So 25 out of 25 of our vouchers were housed. So that speaks volumes to HUD. And then they say, oh, you were successful in leasing 25, let's give you more vouchers. So currently the Santa Ana Housing Authority in a non-competitive process was awarded a new set of 25 vouchers. So beginning in April of this year, again, we partnered with the county social service agency. We will begin receiving referrals for an additional 25 foster youth. So we can house an additional 25 foster youth that are between the ages of 18 to 23. They are aging out of the foster care system, and they must have strong ties to the community, to our community here in the city of Santa Ana. The next slide. So what the Welcome Home OC ecosystem. So as you can see, this is heavily Welcome Home OC United Way branded. So this is a edited version of a larger presentation that we recently presented to HUD in terms of what we are doing here in Orange County to utilize our vouchers fully and to have such a high percentage and high success rate with our voucher holders for special purpose. So it's the Housing Authority that applies for the available funding. Service providers, we partner with our service providers, which is the county social service agency, to receive referrals. Obviously, property owners are essential to our ecosystem because without property owners, we would not be able to house our youth in a permanent housing solution. And then obviously the clients that we serve. So the clients that we serve is ultimately our end goal, that we get them housed. They're no longer in danger of becoming homeless. They're no longer in transitional housing. They're on their own. They're having their first home of their own to call their own. And thanks to this HUD voucher program that the city of Santa Ana has competitively applied for and been awarded. Next one, I think there's. And then of course it leads to being in their first apartment. So these are some of the benefits that the Orange County Social Services Agency just kind of jotted down for us in terms of their partnership with the City of Santa Ana Housing Authority, the benefits. With our partnership, we created additional housing opportunities for the minors that are aging out of foster care. We're serving vulnerable populations that may be at risk of homelessness. We're preventing homelessness with these vouchers because we're moving our youth into permanent housing solutions. We're able to assist individuals and not necessarily a family, although we can house families if that's what is being referred to us by the county. And then it's an extension of the transitional housing program, meaning that they're moving from transitional into their own housing opportunity. They're no longer tethered to their programs. Although these vouchers do come with supportive service. So for a year, the social service agency does follow the youth to be sure that they're doing well, that they're paying their rent on time, they're paying their utilities, they have food, that they have all the essential services that they need to continue to be successfully housed. Because obviously once we house the youth, our goal is to keep them housed. We don't want them to lose their housing assistance within their first year or even 2 years after that. So those are the benefits, and having a direct contact with the housing authority. So with this partnership, now there's a staff at the social service agency and with the city of Santa Ana that we collaborate on a monthly basis sometimes, whatever the needs of the youth are or whatever questions that they have, they reach out to me directly and they have a direct contact with the housing agency to prevent any type of adverse activity from either the property owner or the youth that may have questions that they're having a difficult time overcoming. And next slide. And then, so these are our partner agencies. So it's myself. So I work directly with Lourdes. Lourdes is from the County Social Service Agency, and she is the individual that refers the foster youth to our agency for a voucher. So our goal is once we receive the referrals from them, we just start working at, and since we've already established a relationship, they already know what is needed to complete the application. I just provided her with applications so she can start filling them out with the youth. And like I said, we're anticipating receiving referrals beginning of April. And then we're gonna hopefully house the youth within the next 90 days after that. And we're excited that we have this opportunity again to assist our most vulnerable youth population in our community to have a permanent housing opportunity. And hopefully this is a stepping stone that it's going to lead to greater success in the future for our youth in our community. And then of course, we wouldn't be able to have such great success without our partnership with United Way Welcome Home OC team. And so for that partnership, we have a variety. We have about 4 different individuals that we work with that go out into the community and approach owners about the program, the benefits, the incentives, and the assistance that the Welcome Home OC and the county provides to the youth so they are successful in maintaining the lease agreement with the owner. So without all of our partner agencies working together, these vouchers would be much more difficult to utilize by the community because of the owner incentives and the case management that is provided to the youth within the first year of the program is really beneficial for the success of our youth in our program. And with our first set of youth that we've housed from 2019 to early 2020, out of those 25, 15 have already reached their annual recertification period. So that means that they were able to complete their application for another year of assistance. They do have to recertify on an annual basis to be sure that they continue to be eligible for our services from year to year. So that also is something that the county, our partner agency, has assisted them with that process so they can continue to receive assistance from the City of Santa Ana Housing Authority. Okay, and then I believe there's only one more slide, and this is just a plug for United Way OC, United Way Orange County, and the United to End Homelessness campaign, and how beneficial that their partnership has been for our success here in the City of Santa Ana. They also assist our partner authorities like Orange County Housing and Anaheim Housing Authority with their special purpose vouchers utilization. And with that, that's the presentation that I have about our foster youth program here in the City of Santa Ana. And I'll open it up for questions for any questions anyone may have, or what the referral process looks like, or how maybe any
I have a question.
Sure.
Thank you. This is amazing to see this. I remember meeting a homeless gentleman in my neighborhood in Garden Grove once, and he had just been booted out of foster care and was on the street. So that was many years ago. And so this is great to see this. So my question is, what is the actual need? I mean, you've got, well, now potentially 50 apartments for folks. What is the actual need for Orange County for homeless youth?
Yeah, so that's a little bit outside of the scope that I am a part of. I don't really keep those statistics. That would be the county that would be able, but I can certainly get that information for you and forward it along to Bianca so she can share with the group.
Okay, that's great. But this is an amazing, great start. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I have a question.
Sure.
Maria, as far as the foster youth, do we know what percentage of them actually are, I know they're being housed, but what percentage of them are actually employed? Or are they using some other type of income to support the housing?
At this time, I don't have that number of individuals that are actually employed. Due to COVID, it's really challenging for the youth to be able to go out there and do job job search or even job attainment. Some of our youth don't have transportation. They have some barriers that they still are overcoming from their foster youth. But again, we do partner with a social service agency, and they provide additional services to our youth. And also we have a internal family self-sufficiency program, which is managed by Brenda Vega. And she also has tapped into our foster youth to assist them with resumes and also job search if that's what they're ready to move forward with.
Okay. All right.
Maria, it's a great, I mean, it's great what you guys are doing, I think, and the quick turnaround, although, you know, it's sad that it's so quick because the need is out there, that you were quickly able to fill those slots. And I know there's upcoming slots, but, you know, I invite you and to partner with us, and I think our youth providers to service the population. Our primary focus is the out of school youth, but I know where the services that our youth providers offer are not just WIOA, they're in general for the community. And they still do offer quite a bit of supportive services if they do qualify for our programs. But I think maybe me and you can touch bases and then see how we can best coordinate services upcoming for this upcoming year, or even currently. I know we still have a few slots available with one or two of our providers that maybe they could benefit from our wraparound services with the youth, the supportive services, the long-term. It's a 2-year program. They get the 1-year full services, a workforce services and training certification, and then they still get 1 year follow-up after they're done with their services to be able to make sure that they are retained in whatever successful component, including housing, employment, potentially college, training, whatever that may be for that youth.
No, that's great. Yes, that would be something that would be definitely beneficial to our youth in our program. Thank you.
Does anybody else have questions for her? Jorge?
I do. Hi, Maria.
Hi.
Can you just clarify a little bit more about the strong ties with Santa Ana?
Well, like the youth that would be from our community. So they have family that lives here. They went through K through 12 in our community. They're currently employed in the city of Santa Ana. Maybe they fell into homelessness and are currently homeless in the city of Santa Ana. So we want to help individuals from our community here, since these are vouchers that we applied for and we received.
Okay, one more question. When you guys follow up, will you guys still follow up even though they move out of Santa Ana?
Oh, yes. Vouchers. So this is maybe an educational moment here. So vouchers, we 4 different housing authorities in our county. So our vouchers can move anywhere in the county. They do not have to stay here in Santa Ana. So once they receive a voucher, they can move anywhere in Orange County. And as a matter of fact, they can move anywhere in the country because vouchers are poured out. You can pour it out to anywhere, whether another county in California or another state in California. So yes, if they move from our city into another city in the county of Orange, then we continue to do their administration of their voucher. If they move outside of the county, then their file would go to that area. We would no longer manage their housing assistance.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Oh, so you did mention families. When you talk about families, obviously we're assuming that most of them potentially have a family within people that weren't in the foster care system. But what if one of the partners wasn't in the foster care system? Is that helping them, or can you clarify that a little more, just so I can get the understanding of it?
Yeah, so the foster youth, obviously, the individual that was referred to the program needed to meet that criteria that I listed. If that individual has a partner, they do not have to meet that criteria because only one individual has to meet that foster youth criteria, and the partner does not.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I just wanted to end with one of the reasons I asked regarding employment, Maria, is that's where my team, like Alberto and myself, we help youth in school or out of school get there with the employment. And I guess my question was, perhaps these homeless youth or these youth with barriers, would you say that perhaps they're not job ready yet or ready for that next step in the wraparound process?
Yes, because a lot of the youth that we housed came from an unstable environment. So
Okay.
this first year, they're just now like getting used to. A lot of them I hear tell me, they were waiting for something to be pulled out from under them. Like they're not sure if this is long term, permanent, like because nothing in their life prior to this has been stable. Yeah. So their first year, they're just kind of settling in to this new life where they have their own place. They don't answer to anybody. They're the ones that have to manage their household. So yes, the first year that's where they've been. And so I think this next year, a lot of youth are interested in resources to find jobs, either go back to school. Yes, so absolutely. So I will tap into these available resources for them because these are youth. Youth are they still have that optimism that they can do something with their lives. So that we have to tap into that and help them grow in that capacity.
I'd like to make a comment, Maria, for like Sandy mentioned before, if they're not ready for jobs, but they're in the process of obtaining resources in the community and at least enrolling in college and things like that, all of our organizations can help. So we can help and then prepare them for that future job too. So I think we are definitely wanting to serve more foster youth, and we want to collaborate with you. And some of our agencies even provide additional resources that we know foster youth need, like mental health services, right? For example, the agency that I represent, we have a strong focus on mental health, and also some certificate and educational programs that will benefit them. And they don't have to come in person to start that process because we're doing a lot of programs remotely. And I mean, I know that there are some things that and I leave that to the Elizabeth and Seth to talk about. So there will be, a couple of times when they have to come in person for interview or different things, but the majority of the services could be done remotely. And foster youth are so unstable that they really need that mental health support. And we are doing it, and we want to serve more foster youth. One of the youth council members is not here, but she's a strong advocate for foster youth, and I'm sure that if she was here today, she would be saying, yes, we want to partner with you. We want to serve more foster youth. Okay, so I just wanted to say that.
Thank you. This has been so great that this has now opened up another window of opportunity for our youth in our program. Thank you.
Just real quick, Maria, I do want to say thank you. I am a former foster youth, and honestly, seeing all the transition that has been going on over the years that have been making it easier for youth to transition and also see a higher success rate, honestly, is very impressionable on myself. Just because I myself still know a lot of people that were in foster care with me, and all these resources that are going to help all this next generation be successful and have better futures. It's amazing. So thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, that's our goal, is to have successful foster youth, because that's who we build on, is our youth. Any other questions?
No.
Well, we'd like to thank you for being here and for your presentation. And it's so great to see the follow-up for foster youth to truly get them to an independent life. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for inviting me. This was really a great opportunity for me to be here and to present to you all our successes here at the City of Santa Ana Housing Authority. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. It was very informative, and we'll touch bases after.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the consent calendar items. We have two general items, regular meeting minutes of October 8th, 2020, and the excused absences. I don't see any listed, so do I hear a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion on the consent calendar? Not hearing any. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The consent calendar is approved unanimously. Thank you. Okay, on to the business calendar. Item 3, which is to contract amendment with youth services providers. All our providers, the Orange County Conservation Corps, Charitable Ventures of Orange County, otherwise known as, and the Project Kinship, and Orange County Children's Therapeutic Arts Center. The recommended action is, number 1, to extend the current youth service providers 2020-2021 agreements by an additional 6 months from July 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2021, to provide additional time for currently enrolled participants to receive services due to the restrictions brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. Number 2 of this recommendation is to direct staff to amend the following youth service provider agreements to extend the service period, as noted above, from July 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2021, with the contract award amounts to remain the same. And those are items 2A, B, and C. Those are the contracts listed with the Orange County Conservation Corps, the Charitable Ventures of Orange County, doing business as Project Kinship, and Orange County Children's Therapeutic Arts Center. Before we get into the discussion of this, do I hear a motion to approve item 3 of the business calendar as noted?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, is there a discussion or input from staff on this?
Yeah, yes, I'll go ahead and chime in. We did speak, having participated in a youth forum and talking with the providers and seeing the outcomes from last fiscal year closing out. I think the staff discussed it and also brought in the youth providers to ask them about, how's it going? How's the enrollments going? And I think the consensus across the board was the challenges that the youth are experiencing with the pandemic, the lag in getting the paperwork in from the youth and having the youth participate. I think across the board, the youth have been experiencing some challenges. For those that were in school, having to deal with the in-school virtual learning, and then for those that are out of school, just trying to get it all situated and organized. I think the providers were in agreement and welcomed the extension of the youth contracts for an additional 6 months. I think this allowed them to finish up whatever services that they're obtaining, not to have to rush through the services in one given year, with the hopes that maybe towards the end spring, we start seeing a little bit less of those COVID numbers, maybe opening up a little bit more so that the youth can come in and provide on-site training, even though I think the providers have been doing an extremely great job in providing virtual services, whether it's counseling, mentoring, their work experience, etc. I think this allows both the youth providers and also the youth to be able to accomplish the task at hand and also have long-term positive effects from this participation and this particular year, given the circumstances that we're all having to deal with. But I think it's been a little bit more challenging for our youth that already had some underlying barriers and challenges to add the pandemic on top of that, and then the challenges that came with those and their families. I don't know if anybody else wants to chime in on that, but I think that was kind of the overall motive behind allowing and extending the contracts.
Thank you. Any other input? Any other input? Okay, not hearing any. We have a first and second on the motion to item 3, the amending the contracts for the youth service providers. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain.
Excuse me, Bob. I'm sorry. Who a motion and who second? It's kind of hard to do it with the screens.
I think Dennis gave the approval, and the second was
Albert.
Yes, thank you. Yes,
Thank you.
It was me.
Thank you very much.
All right, the motion is carried. Thank you, everybody, for this. This just makes sense considering the times we're in. So that's the end of the business calendar. So we will now go on to reports. Program up.
Can I go back?
I'm sorry.
Are there any abstentions?
No.
Do I need to abstain, Sandy? Yes. Yes.
I believe so.
Okay.
Okay, we can list that as an abstention.
I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We'll go on to reports. YSPN, you're on.
Okay. Well, it's been a busy few months. I want to start off with first some of the things that led up to, or let me just touch on it. I don't want to take up too much of time. I could always touch on it during the public comments too, or I'll chime in after, but I wanted to touch bases and kind of fill you in. I was invited to participate in the Santa Ana Youth Summit with the Santa Ana Task Force. And that was the primary purpose behind that, was to find out from youth how they're dealing with the pandemic and how it's impacted them and what they see valuable in a youth mentorship. I think the background behind it was, how do we develop a great mentorship program in Santa Ana so that every youth in the community has a valuable mentor attached to them eventually? I think that's the long-term goal for this particular task force. And so I was invited to help with inviting youth, and then also participating and giving my input as far as my youth expertise, working with all of you and so on. And so it was interesting to be able to find, and let me see if I can share my screen with you. If I can share, let's see if I don't. Are you guys able to see that?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'll try to move it around because I think I had zoomed it in a little bit too much. Out. So the task force itself was October 27th. I think they were able to get 20 city leaders and 34 youth in Santa Ana from the school district. It wasn't primarily focusing on the out of school youth, and I think that's where they might have not gotten the full picture, but I think based on the youth that were willing to participate, it was a 2-hour event that was done virtually with the youth. And so the youth had to volunteer to participate in this and answer some questions very candidly, but they were able to inform us as far as what they were dealing with. And also we were able to report some of the numbers that across the state that they've been dealing with in general. But here in Santa Ana, I think a big issue was the overwhelmingness of the experience of COVID. Some of them was the isolation. They felt they were kind of in it alone, where they didn't have the support, the feeling they were doing it on their own because they didn't have the one-on-one with either their counselor or being able to go to school and get the information that they normally get. Again, these were primarily youth that were participating in school, but it was still revealing as far as some of the mental mental challenges that they were experiencing because of COVID. So I thought it was kind of eye-opening as far as some of the critical needs that they expressed. They wanted more one-on-one attention with the adults. They wanted to make sure that, let me see if I can get the numbers over here. As far as what they wanted to see. Some of them had to deal with being the adult in the household because the parents had to go to work. Some of their parents had actually been laid off. And I think this is kind of the consensus that we've been hearing from a lot of the youth. I know the providers could definitely chime in on this. They have been mentioning this is some of the things that their youth have been mentioning as far as what they're experiencing, being kind of the parent and having to oversee the siblings, still having to do their schoolwork and so on. So I won't take up too much, but I would like to share this with all of you guys. I won't go into too much detail and take up too much time, but I thought it was very insightful. And I think being able to share it with you gives the experts, I think, because you have been hearing it, but gives you guys an idea of what the in-school youth have also been dealing with, and then how we can address some of those issues within even our programs. I know some of our programs do provide services to in-school youth, but I thought this was very eye-opening that I did want to share with you guys. So I will stop sharing, and I promise to share this with all of you guys if I haven't already. The other thing I wanted to mention to you is how our numbers are going before I let the providers kind of do their deal and tell you a little bit what's going on. So far, our enrollment numbers are at the 45 mark. So we are looking at probably shy of about 10 youth, which is kind of what led me to the extension of the contracts. But I'll let the providers touch on what they're doing, their credentialing, how they finished off the year, how they're moving forward, and the services that they're providing. Additionally, recently we participated, or I participated, I know some of the providers were able to participate also in the CWA Youth Conference. That was very eye-opening. I was really intrigued because there was quite a bit, there was at least 2 providers or 2 workshops that I was in that explained what they're doing right now virtually with the youth as far as work experience and so forth. And so I was able to share that information with the youth providers where they're providing online workshops, paid work experience through an online platform that I think allows the youth to still be able to gain the valuable experience that our providers are also providing, but it also allows the providers to focus in a little bit more on the one-on-one attention so that the youth can take care of those workshop needs and the overall topics that are covered on their own time and still get paid for them. So although I know that federal funds require quite a bit of procurement in the back end, I think the cost is low enough for some of them that either they can group up together to potentially pay for it for the small group of youth that they are working for, or even incorporate part of it into their overall agencies. But I'm interested to kind of delve into that, at least with our summer youth program that we'll be handling. And I will touch bases a little bit more with you guys on that further on my report. But I think as far as the YSPN and what they've been doing, it's been pretty busy these past few months, and touching bases with them, how to provide services to the youth that they're currently working with and meeting the challenges of enrollment and providing services. But nonetheless, they've been doing really well, I think, as a group individually on providing the best services that they can given the circumstances. So I will hand it over back to Bob.
Okay, let's hear from, on that note, let's hear from the Orange County Children's Therapeutic Arts Center for their report.
Hi, good evening. My name is Elizabeth. Once again, I'm the case manager with OCTAC. So since the start of this new program year, we have enrolled 13 participants, and we have 2 applicants that are still pending applications. We're still working on meeting with them. Definitely, we continue to face this hurdle with enrollments. We currently have 13 spots available for out-of-school youth. So as we continue to readjust the way we provide services, the way we meet with our clients, and the way we do our usual outreach with different schools and community events, it's definitely just been a challenge. And just attracting more youth to our program. Although we do offer, in-person meetings with youth and families who are interested in learning more about our program and registering with YEP. Many youth are just, hesitant about this online, virtual, remote type of work experience. And so many have just decided to either just put off until we return to in-person. Although we do offer, some work sites are in person, they're just, scared about, going in person. They do have families at home who they, have to take care of. So, right now is not a good idea for them, to either be working in person and they just don't want to do online. So that's a struggle that we continue to face in terms of our enrollments. Any questions on that? No. Okay. In terms of outreach, though, we continue to meet with community partners, and as well as members who work through OCTAC, who have been referring youth to us. However, since our in-school population, we've already met our 5 in-school youth. The partners that we've been working with have only been referring in school. So that's another challenge that we now need out of school only. So now we have a wait list for in-school youth, hopefully for the new program year. But we continue to do research to search for agencies throughout Santa Ana and Orange County who we can reach out to and meet with for further collaboration. But so far, just last week, we met with Project Youth for their shortstop program, which works with youth ages 13 to 18, which is, again, would be in-school youth. So unfortunately, that collaboration right now wouldn't work, maybe until the next program year. But definitely our coordinator and myself have been meeting with, as many agencies as we can, or just informing them about the services that we offer in hopes that they're able to send over youth so we can hopefully meet our numbers soon for this program year. Any questions on that? No? Okay. Now, in terms of the follow-up youth, out of the 27 participants that were enrolled during the 2019-2020 year, 19 of those are either working or currently attending secondary or post-secondary education, and they're also studying towards a career goal, which either includes education, being a teacher, childcare, computer science, or music. Some examples of employment industries that many of our youth, our follow-up youth, have obtained are either customer service, retail sales associates. So for those youth who feel comfortable returning to the workforce, many of them have been able to obtain jobs. We actually recently hired one of our follow-up youth through OCTAC, and she recently started working with our front desk officially through OCTAC. So she was able to get a job, which we are very proud of her. But other companies that many of our youth are working for are either in Amazon, Starbucks, Home Depot, IHOP. So we're very proud of those youth who have been able, feel comfortable and okay to return to work and have been able to find jobs, especially during this time, since it's been really difficult. But yeah, that's all I have on my end. Any questions?
Oh, thank you for your report. Let's go on to the Orange County Conservation Corps.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. We were able to reach our goal of 14 participants. It was a challenge. We were able to reach it before the 30th first, but I mean, it was the last one came in that day. And right now in the barriers, I provided the report to Sandy. I don't know if anyone is able to see it. Right now, we have out of the 14 are space skill deficient. That's what the information we got. What happened is that the state changed the testing, so it's all digital now. I mean, we went digital platform, and so it takes a longer process. It's the next level. Instead of 9 and 10, now it's 11, 12. So the pre-testing is much more challenging for the individuals and longer. So those numbers really resemble the difficulty and the new challenge of the tape testing. So we all 14 tested in either high D, which is not even, I mean, the levels are there, which is level D, and below. So we have 14 in both cases right now that they all tested basic skill deficiencies. Right now, the certifications that are interest that we are working with them are, we're really working forward to provide them with a forklift. I have 6 right now that are interested in that field because of essential workers right now. That's the big, huge push that are needed. Some of our core members right now are volunteering at the California Action at K-pop. And they are using forklift. That's part of their training right now. So they're providing them with that training there, but it's not official. So the certification will help them in the long way. We have currently 4 that are currently enrolled in high school, and another 4 individuals are focused on the CTE course on computer technology, information technology, security, automotive, and culinary arts. So they already targeted, that's what they currently want to do, and that's the reach, that's their goal. Also, I don't know, it's just, I'm running through my notes right here. Quickly, we have, with the current pandemic, we were able to get the emergency task force funding. So currently we have 5 individuals working at 6 currently working at the emergency response sites. 4 of them are in Costa Mesa Testing Center. One of them is at the Anaheim Convention Testing Center, and we have 1 working at the Vaccination Center. And from time to time, individuals do work at the at KPOC as they're part of their emergency response team, and they're working at their food bank. And we have other 2 that were direct hires that were hired after the fact. So once we enroll them, a week or 2, they started working. And we have 1 that is going currently full-time to college after enrollment. He is going to a 4-year institution. And so pretty much that puts us on the bottom of a figure. It's pretty much what I have here. Out of the 14, we have 4 that are in secondary education, completing their high school diploma. We have 3 that are in the process of enrolling into CTE training, and 1 that is in a 4-year college, 4-year university. We have 8, so the other 4 are focused more on a certification, a basic certification. So forklift was something that they were really interested because that could be something in their pocket so they could continue with employment. But we will strive and push to see if they could go into a true CTE course, training course. I honestly did not write any summary from the follow-ups last year. We've had a hard time following up with those individuals. Small number of individuals that were able to follow, come in contact with them, and also many moved out of the area. I've had that many moved out of the area. Many moved to Riverside County. One of them moved to Arizona, and so having contact with them has been very difficult. But the ones that are still working locally, we have contact with them. There's a couple that are still working in our program because of the emergency response right now. And so our goal is to assist them with employment now that slowly but surely everything is opening up again, to help them attain employment outside of our offices, our program.
Darren,
any questions?
Yeah, if I may chime in, I know he had mentioned the report. I think you sent it to me.
Yes.
I'll forward it to them. I didn't see, I must have skipped it in my email, but I will forward it to the group for their information. I did want to chime in. I know he mentioned it earlier on in his report, was a tape testing. I think that was the other challenge that a lot of the providers were saying that they were experiencing, as far as having it take the youth maybe up to 4 hours to accomplish the tape testing because of the online platform, and having to do it that way with this new format, the new version of the tape testing that's out there. So I know some of them have purchased another format, which is the Casas testing, that is a little bit easier to take and has lessened the time, I believe, for some of the youth, but also allowing the providers to have the youth take it in phases. So the entire test doesn't necessarily need to be taken to get the youth enrolled, but just 30 minutes of it need to be taken early on to get the youth enrolled, and then having the youth take it later on. I think, having heard all of the providers' challenges, we had to discuss what was in the best interest of the youth, potentially buying this new version of the testing and or allowing that accommodation where the youth provider could finish having the youth take the test after they were enrolled, because it was holding up quite a bit of the enrollments for all the providers. I know for some it wasn't as hard, but I think the consensus across the board was that it was just taking the youth too long to just take the test, not taking into consideration bringing in, sending in the paperwork, answering all the questions, just to get them enrolled into the program. So the purpose of WIO is not to make it so burdensome for the youth that they don't want to enroll with our program. So we try to do what we need to make it as easy and as streamlined as possible to get the youth enrolled. And I think that's helped a lot of the providers, is being able to take the remaining of the test after they've been enrolled in the program and been registered, so that they have the youth enrolled, and that becomes part of the services that they're providing while planning their individual service plan moving forward. So,
and I wanted to chime in also. It's very difficult. I mean, I know, I think we discussed that in the previous youth council update from the YCM members. Unfortunately, we went. It's an edge of a double sword edge. Because if you go with the testing, writing testing, I know that my colleagues had a difficult time doing that, and then we went online, and sometimes those results would not come in until the following day. So there was no way to provide them with that level. So we will give them the pretest locator, the locator pretest, and then wait 24 hours at a time. And then we were able to set up what the level was, because they would say, please contact us. And if we were lucky, maybe 2 hours, and it will show up what was the level that individual needed to take. So that was the biggest thing, because previously it was just, okay, we know I have the hard copy with the results, with the answers, and I could give them the next level and just get it all done. But with this situation, it was interesting, and that's why we, luckily we were to reach out 14 individuals, get 14 individuals in our program, but it was very challenging. Especially also with the pandemic, bringing them in, they can't do the testing at home. I tried to make it as easy as possible, but it would only allow us to do the testing here at our site. So that was another challenge. Any questions?
Thanks, Darren.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your report. Not hearing any questions, let's go on to Project Kinship.
Good evening. Again, my name is Nadia. I'm a case manager at Project Kinship. So for this current year, we are, right now we have 19 total youth enrolled, 2 carried over from last year. We have 4 in the queue, waiting for the application to be processed, and we will be enrolling 2 more, which gives us a total of 23, exceeding our goal of 20 youth enrollments. We've had our fair share of challenges as well. Definitely, just trying our best to be creative and use the digital platforms to, keep the youth engaged, trying to meet with the youth, outside of the office with still the precautions of face mask, washing your hands, and social distancing. We've done our best to, even have like dividers at the tables at the office. Right now we are offering the WEX at Project Kinship. I have 7 of my youth that are doing work experience with me. We meet via Zoom, we have assignments, and then fortunately we still have our Thursday youth evening groups called Crew, where they will meet with me 3 days a week. We'll do kind of assignments and check-ins, and then virtually, but on Thursdays towards the end of the week they still have that interaction, where we are able to have like a in person, still with social distancing and all the safety requirements, but more of an interactive in-person group where they get to, be around other youth that are also WIOA participants, as well as other programming at Project Kinship, where they learn life skills, social emotional support, and still can, have that sense of community. And I have 4 more that I'll be starting in a newer, kind of WEX cohort this upcoming week. So we're still, trying to be as creative as possible. I know using we have the TABE test locator now that is able to determine eligibility, and that's been a tremendous help. Made it a little bit, less of a shorter enrollment process, which was easier to keep their attention for longer. And yeah, I mean, just kind of, working on creative ways to stay engaged. I know we've been partnering with Santa Ana College. 2 of my current caseloads have been enrolled. One is in a customer service certification course that we've been working with Santa Ana College to provide for our youth, as well as another one of my participants just finished up her certified nursing assistant program with Santa Ana College. She's one of my WIOA youth, and even within the opportunities that we're able to find for our youth, there have been challenges that arise, like my youth that is in that CNA program. She finished her lectures and her coursework, but now the last part is the state exam, the certification exam. So that's kind of been pushed back and put on hold for longer than we had anticipated, which is kind of keeping her in a limbo with just us waiting for the legislation to change, or the COVID requirements to lift a little, to give her the opportunity to take the state test. But she's been studying, and I've been able to support her through that process. We have right now, I currently have another youth that is currently incarcerated, who I was able to enroll in the WIOA program, and he's been very good at staying self-motivated in there, and leaning on me with help with that. He's a full-time student at Cypress College, and we're working on kind of linking him with the T10 program at Cypress, and kind of opening that avenue for potential new enrollees or youth that need assistance with that transition from being incarcerated to transitioning to the outs. And just kind of trying to stay a lot of email now with some of the participants that haven't been able to really pay their phone bill for whatever reason, or only work on Wi-Fi. I've been using the opportunity to teach them professional emails and how to follow up and things like that. Just kind of trying to take as many of these challenges and use them as learning lessons for the youth, and just kind of trying to teach them to adapt to any changes that arise, of course, with our support. And then same with follow-up. We have a good number of our follow-up youth that are in work. I want to say from the 2020 youth that we have in follow-up, I want to say about 10 or 11 of them are employed, at least. I don't really have the numbers in front of me, but we have a good amount of them doing that. We do still have the connection with our forklift vendor, who is, although they're taking smaller amounts of participants at a time, they've been very helpful in communicating with us when they do have availability. So we're still trying to, keep in contact with our youth and trying to plug them in with as many opportunities as possible. We have an entrepreneur boot camp course that we are working on, opening that avenue for our youth to enroll in, and kind of just trying to keep their motivation alive. I know a common theme that we've noticed, especially with our justice involved youth, is that the quarantine and kind of keeping them in their house and not being able to go out has, kind of brought up some triggered some of our youth to kind of remember them in while they were incarcerated. And so just trying to support them through that to social emotional support as well as job development. I don't know if Javier, you wanted to add anything?
Hi everybody. Yes, I'd like to add actually to the follow-up. So for the current numbers that we have for follow-up is they're actually a little bit different. So we currently have individuals, 13 that are employed, 2 that are in post-secondary, and then 9 that have earned credentials so far. So credentials is one of the areas where we're really working on for this last 4 months to hit our percentage. But I strongly feel that our partnership with Santa Ana College and the new class that we're teaching in collaboration, well, Santa Ana College is teaching for Project Kinship. I think it's really going to help out with the credentials. And then also having the meeting yesterday with Carlos and Project Rise and some of the other providers in Orange County, having a reentry or a cohort just for justice involved youth for the construction program coming up in March. Really excited for that and seeing how many of our participants will take advantage and complete their 10-week MC3 certification. Any questions?
Thank you, Javier.
Thank you. Well, if I know we're, I think, a little over, but if you guys have a few minutes, I would like to actually introduce one of our current WIOA participants. And she can tell you a little bit about what she's been doing with PK.
Well, please do.
Perfect. All right, everybody. So this is Megan Newton.
Hi guys, my name is Megan. I'm a member at Project Kinship enrolled in the WEX program, which is helping me grow professionally in order to gain experience with opportunities to pursue career goals. WEX has helped me create a resume, find the best way to fill out applications, the best answers for interview questions, and following up after an interview. My goal is to have a career in automotive tech. I'm thankful for WEX because it is preparing me with skills to stand out from the rest of the other applicants.
Sorry, guys. Sorry about all the background. We just finished up group with our Tay youth. Yeah.
Right.
No worries. Thank you, and best of luck to you.
Thanks for sharing.
Service tech.
Okay, let's move on to staff member comments.
I did want to jump in and just let you guys all know the Work Center was able to obtain some funds, or working on obtaining funds for a SAY Summer Youth Employment Program. So we're really excited about that. We were able to get some cannabis funds and then also applied for CDBG funds so that we're able to serve 100 youth between the ages of 16 to 19. As you all know, our primary focus under WIOA is the older out of school youth. So we wanted to make sure we are also touching those younger youth that still can benefit from the work experience, the workshops, and everything that goes along with providing them with a program like the one we're going to provide them this summer. So we're really excited. It is in the beginning stages. We're hoping that it will be able to be offered with the online platform and additionally on-site work experience. With so much uncertainty still with COVID, I think we needed to be prepared for both, whether we had to do virtual work experience or be able to still do maybe some on-site work experience. So I had to get creative with the development of the program and what we were going to be offering, but still being able to offer those valuable skills of work experience, workshops, financial literacy, just overall life skills and job readiness skills, while still providing some of those paid work experience skills that they would get on site. So we're excited. We're hoping that the enrollment will begin as early as April, if all goes fine. But I will update all of you guys via email with the progress and what's going on, how to apply, and when this will all begin. It hasn't been completely finalized, but I did want to announce it because I know we don't meet on a regular basis. And so the next time we meet would be what, April. So I want to make sure I start kind of opening up your ears to the information. It will be for Santa Ana youth, of course. I don't know if you guys have any questions. I'll let Carlos talk a little bit about what the work center is doing. I know they have quite a bit of things going on as far as the office and so forth. I don't know, Carlos, if you want to touch on a little bit of what's going on at the work center.
I'll keep it brief. There's a couple of things that I think are exciting for us. At least one. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be initiating assistance that I'm sure a lot of you have already attempted to do, and that's trying to provide services remotely. Specifically, we're going to be conducting online remote resume review to the community for those that need it. We're finalizing some of the finer points of what we're trying to do. But you know, and it's something that is necessary, and hopefully it adds an extra added benefit to what we're already doing. I'm always challenged by remote services because our services are human services, right? I mean, our services are meant to be provided in person, not in a two-dimensional Zoom world, but that's what we have to do right now. So, you know, we're looking forward to that. As soon as we finish up all the details, we'll let you know. And last but not least, let me leave you with a job lead. We're currently working with an insurance company who is seeking two customer service reps. If you have anybody in your agency and your clientele that could do that could be a customer service rep, just have basic office skills, give Araceli Delgado a call. She can be reached at 714-565-2654. It's a full-time job locally. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Other staff comments? Okay, youth council member comments.
Of one. So the youth employment the program that I work for is currently going to have for youth, specifically for youth. We will start having those weekly workshops starting next week on Friday. And those workshops will vary from interviewing skills to things building and setting up a LinkedIn. If anyone's interested, if someone who's interested in looking up the workshops, they can contact me .cruz@ca.gov, or they can reach out to Sandy. Sandy can reach out to me.
Yes. Albert, do you have like a flyer or something I'd be happy to share with the group? You were kind of cutting in and out a little bit. So
Oh, sorry.
that way they can get the full information about the workshops, when they're starting, and how they can register or participate.
Yes, we still have to finalize the flyer, but I'll give it to you by next week.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please share with me and I'll share with the entire group.
Awesome. Yeah. So just for everyone to know.
Thank you.
Okay, other youth council member comments. Okay, I have something. I have something. Just a quick note. There's a thing called decarceration and decarceration care. And what that means, and I've heard Project Kinship touch on it, and some of the others is not everybody is served by being imprisoned, especially when it comes to mental health issues. And I know the County of Orange has sort of gotten behind that. If you folks aren't aware, they have funded the building of 3 Be Well centers for mental health. It's free mental health care. It's not institutional or, frankly, incarceration mental health care. The first one's already complete and up and running over by where the old dog pound was and our animal control place was in Orange. And they're going to build 2 more, one in Irvine, and I think another one in Anaheim. So I think it's an important movement to look beyond just strictly incarcerating people, and especially when it comes to mental health care. And so the word of the day, the word of the year is decarceration. So that's all I have. Thank you for coming online, and thanks to staff for getting us through this last year, and it's going to get better. And lastly, is there anything else someone would like to add before we close?
Bob, did you want to talk a little bit about the care packages with the Orangewood Foundation? I know you had mentioned it at one of my other meetings. I don't know if that's still something you're working with.
Yeah, at the Orangewood, I think it's every, I want to say every Friday, you can drop off hygiene, toothpaste, deodorant, and things like that off to the Orangewood Center. They're always looking for donations. It's got to be new, can't be used, of course. And so I can if you want to resend that, or if Deborah can put out that little flyer again. Well, actually, let me get a new one for you.
Yeah, I did send it to everybody, but it's always good to resend it out to everyone, just if it's an ongoing thing.
It is ongoing. They reference a particular date, but it is ongoing every Friday. So if you want to resend it out, so if people have extra supplies, maybe extra toilet paper, maybe. Anyway, they're looking for supplies, so it's always good to donate where you can. So please, thank you.
Bob, do they need masks? Because we got a huge donation of face masks. Do they need masks?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I didn't see that on the list, but I know sometimes school districts, now that they're reopening, there might be a need. I don't know if Santa Ana needs any, but that'd be another place.
Okay.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
They also do donations through Venmo.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
Oh, very good. Venmo.
Okay. Yeah, that was on the flyer. Yeah, if you want to resend out the flyer, Sandy, so people can see that. And it references a particular date, but just be aware they're open at the same time every Friday for donations.
Ongoing. Yes, I'll make sure to reshare that and put it on my to-do.
Okay, great. Thank you all. Any other input from anybody, staff, anyone?
Hey everyone, so I just got a last minute thing. Kind of just wanted to piggyback off what you were saying, Bob. I'm not sure if everybody saw an article yesterday that came out about Todd Spitzer, kind of changing some of the policies and the initiatives that he wants across his whole office. And one of the biggest things is ending systemic racism, mass incarceration, but also really focusing on addressing mental health issues and taking that into consideration. So really, really exciting news, especially here in Orange County. So looking forward to see what comes in the next few months or in the next year or so. But that is some movement to look forward to. So thank you guys for all the hard work you do, and thank you guys for allowing us to be part of this partnership.
You're very welcome. And on that note, the state of California is providing grants to cities for up to 3 years to pay for mental health EMTs or peer mental health care folks to respond to mental health crisis versus police responding to those. So there's an opportunity for cities. I can share that with you folks and you can put that out, Sandy.
Yes. Darren, did you have something to add?
Just wanted to make sure about the job lead with Araceli, her phone number. 714-565-2654.
I'm sorry?
Correct?
Yes.
Is that correct? 714-565-2654.
Yeah, that's Araceli's number. Yes.
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
Anything else?
No, if anybody else, anything else out there anyone wants to share? Last call.
Actually, I do real quick. I know it's a little off topic, so to say, but it's still COVID related. So, I don't know how in depth of resources you guys are aware with the COVID resources that there's offered, but I personally have had people call 211 to get resources if they get COVID and it is positive to go to hotels and social distance themselves from people to prevent exposure. So I just want to make sure that obviously we are aware that we are making sure that we're obviously trying to slow down the spread of COVID-19, but also making sure that people are aware that they call 211 to make sure they get the resources and help that they need.
Thank you, Anthony.
Excellent information. We are truly a community of helping each other. Anything else? Okay, our next meeting will be April 8th, 2021 at 4 p.m. And again, thanks to all the council members, the clients, the staff, and everyone for being on board today. Have a great evening, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Again.